Hey guys, Andrew Banks Centre here. I thought I'd do a live video very quickly. I've just seen something on Facebook, bizarrely, well not bizarrely, but obviously, but it's just like struck a real big chord with me, and I can't just sit back and ignore it. So I thought I would, and I've been talking about anti-bullying in my classes a lot recently. A couple of my students are facing it, and trying to talk to them how they should deal with it. Like anything on Facebook, I don't just see it and take it as gospel. I go and look it up, I go check it out, and I have checked it out, and unfortunately, sadly, this is genuinely real. The post was actually from a colleague of mine. I'll just pull it up now. A great guy. His name is Craig Smith, and he's put, obviously it's a memory of a boy called Owen J. Miller. So rest in peace, Owen. My thoughts go to your family on this. It's really sad, and it's basically this boy who's 11 years old. Just double check that, I'm sure it was 11. I've been reading a few of these. Oh, age 13, sorry, there's another one that's 11. Age 13, who, as a result of bullying, decided that if the only option he had through being bullied was to end his life. And that's struck a huge chord with me. No child should ever feel that that's their only option, and that's a real shame. And the reason why I did this video is because I've been talking about bullying in my classes a lot the last few days, and I've even been really controversial on the subject, and I'm going to be today, and I'm probably not going to be the most popular person in my local schools and things like that, but in all fairness, I would much rather be unpopular and encourage children to do something about it than this happen to another child, especially one of my own students or my own child. So for me, I am going to say something, speak out in this video today. Rather than just assume that this is an isolated incident, I've gone looking, and right here, August 29th, 9-year-old boy died by suicide after he was bullied. 9 years old, a 9-year-old boy being bullied, and he thought that was his only way out. One here, boy driven to suicide by bullies. This is in this country. A distraught mother has claimed that her 11-year-old son was driven to suicide by bullies at his school. 11 years old, that's 9, 11, 13. At 9, 11, 13, all your children should be worried about is when they're going to see their friends next, what Xbox or PlayStation game they're playing, and when they're playing football. Okay, something, you know, I'm not even making it martial arts related, okay guys, this is truly sad. I am so heartbroken reading these things now, and I'm pulling up studies here. A study here that says cyberbullying makes young people twice as likely to self-harm or attempt suicide. That there's even a study in this, and it's getting worse. Now don't get me wrong, I am not part of the PC brigade that turned and said, oh, we need to stop bullying. Okay, no, we do need to stop bullying, of course we do. We need to actively try and stop it. However, we're trying to do this thing where we're trying to stop bullying from ever taking place, and that's never going to happen. And even if we really believe that we can stop bullying before it even starts, we are really out of touch. Bullying happens as part of a natural growing process for children. Okay, children need to find their place in society. They need to feel jealousy, they need to feel envy, they need to learn how to control that. But when they have those jealous and envious thoughts, they are going to commit some acts of bullying at some point. We all have at some point, and this is really important. It's a matter of dealing with it. Just like when a child, you tell a child not to do something they shouldn't do, most of the time they'll do it and they'll learn that way. We can't just necessarily stop them straight away. Otherwise they don't have any understanding of half the things that we need to stop them doing. Why I'm bringing this up is because reading this, I decided, you know what, I'm going to do a video of what I've been saying in classes, and I'm going to highlight what my advice is to anybody, sorry, it's knocked out my desk, what anybody who's being bullied should do. Now, I'll take primary school as a setting, or even secondary school. It doesn't actually matter, if I'm honest. Someone's picking on you, bullying you in class. What should your child do? Very simple. The first thing they should always do, and I stand by school rules in certain respects, is tell the teacher. If it is then not resolved, they need to tell the teacher a second time. Okay? They must do those things. They must follow the rule set at least, because if they have done, then no one has any comeback on them. They've tried. Tell the teacher the first time, tell the teacher a second time. Now, whether they do this before or after these two times, they still need to do this. The first thing they also need to do is they need to ask the person to stop politely. Why? Because we're trying to encourage our children to be kind, polite, and courteous people. We need to encourage that even in times of being bullied. We need to teach them to be a better person. They also, if that doesn't stop it, they need to tell them straight to stop it. We've asked them nicely, now we've told them. We're taking control. We're not being pushed around. So, whether they do this before or after telling the teacher, I don't mind, but they have to do those 4 things, okay? Ask them nicely, tell them confidently. They need to tell the teacher the first time, and if it doesn't get sorted, tell the teacher the second time. At this point in time, I asked my students what they would do next, and they went, tell the teacher again. I told them not to. This is my advice I gave to them, and I'll give it to anybody, and I'll explain why in a moment. If it continues to happen, and you've made 4 solid attempts to stop it, and the teacher has not done what they need to do to resolve that issue, get up, walk out of your classroom, and go to your head teacher, or your head of year, or whatever it is you have in your school that is next up in the hierarchy chain. Get up, walk out of your classroom, and go and tell a teacher. Why? The stories I've just been reading are why. It needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped straight away. We cannot stop it from happening in the first place. We can stop it from happening in the future. We can help our children take control, be confident, and understand that there is a resolution to issues like this. Now granted, if your child has instigated it, yes, it still shouldn't happen, but that needs to be dealt with too. But if they haven't, they don't deserve it. So I told my students, walk out of the classroom, go straight to your head teacher and tell them straight away, because a head teacher is duty bound to act. Now, some of my students turned around and said, I'll get in trouble. So I put it to them like this way: what is worse, getting in trouble by a teacher walking out of a class, or constantly getting bullied till you get to the point where you can't take anymore? Children don't deserve to be terrorised in any way, shape or form. So therefore, get up, walk out. If the teacher doesn't like it, it may be because the teacher hasn't actually acted the way they should have in the first place, and therefore they have failed in their duty towards your child. I understand being a teacher is not easy. I've been one. So I'm saying this from a different standpoint to other people. I'm not a parent looking in. I'm not someone saying that you should do this because I'm a martial arts teacher. I'm someone saying it from a teacher's point of view too. Okay? So, now, as a teacher, I'll also tell you that a teacher cannot always figure out who's in the right, who's in the wrong. However, they can stop it dead. Okay? No teacher will know the right and the wrong, the truth from the lie. And that happens when it comes to bullying, fighting, etc. However, they can still stop it from happening from that point onwards, irrespective who's at fault. So they do still have to do something. Now, some of my students in high school will get put in isolation for it. Or our parents may get in trouble. And I actually got my students to turn to their parents in class and said, parents, out of curiosity, would you be okay with your child walking out of their classroom to see their head teacher if they were being bullied in order to stop it? And every parent in that room said yes. Every parent in that room said yes. And the children were shocked. And I said, your parents do not want you getting hurt. They do not want you feeling upset or terrorised. They do not want you to be bullied. If you can stop it, they definitely want you to do that. Now, notice that, guys, I'm a martial arts teacher, and at no point have I said stand up and punch them in the face. Okay? Granted, that might work, but there are better ways to do it. Punching, kicking, etc. has to be a last resort only. All the skills I teach in my classes, they must be last resort measures only. That's it. But there are other alternatives, and we should start teaching our children to exercise them. We should start teaching our children to be confident to stand up and say no when they're being bullied, and also to say no when they see others being bullied. We cannot stop bullying from ever happening. It's part of a cycle. But we can teach our children how to be confident, how to grow, and how to stand up for other people when bullying happens, or how to stand up for themselves when they're being bullied. So, tell them, ask them nicely to stop, tell them to stop. Make sure you tell your teacher twice if it continues. After the second time, you give your teacher 2 chances to actually resolve the issue. Get up, walk out, and go to the next person in charge. It will get dealt with. If it doesn't, okay, because I had one student say, what happens if it doesn't then? And that's the way a child works. My answer was, your parents are next in line. Get hold of them. Tell them. Most children have mobile phones. Get hold of your parent and tell them. They do not want to hear this happening to you. They will be by your side. Okay, guys, that's me being a little bit controversial today. I have got work to do, so I'm going to go do it. But after reading these today and looking into it a little bit, it's left me more than a little bit shook. So I thought I'm going to sort of speak out and say something. Take care, guys. I've got to go. I've got to get some work done, but I hope this helps a little bit. See you soon, guys. Bye.